Rasmussen. I'm William Rasmussen, and I'll be speaking. I'm William Rasmussen. I'll be the speaker. I'm William Rasmussen, and I'll be the speaker for this Ancient History and Religion podcast. The second largest religion after Christianity, Islam has an estimated 1.57 billion followers, making up about 23% of the world's population. Like Christianity, Islam is a monotheistic religion based on the belief in one God. The Quran is the sacred text of Islam, stating that God is all-powerful and compassionate. The followers of Islam perform duties to maintain good faith, teaching that people are responsible for their own actions. Ideas and principles that govern Muslims' way of life, the terms jihad, sharia, hajj, zakat, psalm, salat, and shahada depict the proper lifestyle all Muslims should lead and describe the correct means of doing so. The 5 pillars of Islam spell out the 5 duties required from every Muslim. Shahada, salat, zakat, psalm, and the hajj are each one of the 5 pillars. The statement regarding the profession of one's faith, the shahada establishes the alleged fact that, quote, there is no other God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Allah is the Islamic word for God. In other words, the statement says that Muhammad is the messenger of the Muslims' one and only God. In order to become part of Islam, an individual must adopt and live by all of the 5 pillars of Islam. Therefore, they must accept the Islamic truism called Shahada. The second pillar of Islam, named Salat, represents the Islamic prayer that all Muslims must practice each day in a set form. It consists of 5 separate prayers said throughout the day, including the Fajr, the Dar, the Asir, Maghrib, and Isha prayer. The Fajr is the morning prayer said at sunrise. The Dur is the noon prayer. The Asir is the afternoon prayer. The Maghrib is the sunset prayer. And the Isha is the evening prayer. Within the 5 prayer divisions of the Salat are distinguished repetitions of a method used to pray called Rak'ah. Described as complete sequences of prayer, Rak'ah rituals consist of 4 parts. The first part requires one to stand silently while reciting the first verses of the Quran. The second part involves bowing, with one's hands on his or her knees. And the third part includes kneeling with the forehead on the ground and the arms positioned above the head. This position represents submission to God. Prayer is important within the Muslim faith because it provides a consistency and purpose not to go astray during daily life. The last 3 pillars of Islam, Psalm, Zakat, and the Hajj, are equally as important in the life of Muslim people as Shahada and Salat. The word Psalm in English means to fast, but in the religion of Islam, its meaning moves beyond a simple definition. To Muslims, the term refers to the practice of refraining from eating, drinking, acknowledging what is opposed to Islam, and saying bad language. Many Muslims also abstain from having sexual relations, arguing, lying, and acting in a malicious way towards others. Exercised most during the holy month of Ramadan, the practice of Psalm represents purification to Islamic people. Its purpose is to enlighten those who experience it by removing them from a world of pleasure, reminding them of the periodic hunger of poor, starving people in need. The experience also encourages growth in spiritual life, self-restraint, patience, and flexibility. The Zakat is another one of the 5 pillars of Islam that requires Muslims to give a percentage of their possessions to charity. The system of giving money to the poor provides welfare for Muslims and non-Muslims who cannot afford simple commodities. The word Zakat means to grow in goodness, suggesting that the action of sharing one's wealth with the poor supposedly lets him or her gain Allah's blessing, therefore helping them grow in goodness. In some areas of the world where Islam is abounding, the governments collect taxes that serve as the zakat, and in other areas, Muslims give individual donations. The Hajj is the last pillar of Islam that requires that requires one to take a pilgrimage to Mecca. The pilgrimage represents the same journey Muhammad took from Mecca to Medina in order to flee from murderous merchants wanting to silence his rejection of traditional Arab gods. It forces Muslims to relive the troubles and tribulations that Muhammad experienced during that time, creating in them a personal relationship with and understanding of their prophet. Two important principles of the Muslim life, not included in the 5 pillars of Islam, are the Sharia and Jihad. Developed by Muslim scholars over a long period of time, the Sharia is a body of law that includes an interpretation of the Quran, examples of behavior, and Muslim traditions. Much like Jewish law, it directs moral conduct, family life, business practices, government, and other aspects of community interactions. The Sharia works to relate religious principles to all legal situations instead of splitting religious beliefs from the law. The purpose of the Sharia is to unite Muslims under one legal framework, just as the Quran unifies Muslim beliefs. Influencing the Muslim community, the Sharia helps to maintain order, allowing people to relate to each other through common interest and similar beliefs. The Jihad is a religious and personal duty for Muslims, appearing frequently in the Quran. In Arabic, the word jihad means struggle, or struggle in God's service. Many Muslims see jihad as a personal duty to overcome immorality and immoral conduct within themselves. Others interpret jihad as a holy war to defend Islam and the Muslim community. As a whole, jihad affects Islam by growing the morals of its individual followers with the purpose to find an inner peace. The jihad also helps to protect the Muslim community from outsiders with the idea of security through holy war. The world's second largest religion, that makes up about 23% of the world's population, Islamic views have a very powerful influence over its 1.57 billion followers. The terms jihad, sharia, hajj, zakat, psalm, salat, and shahada collectively describe the correct way Muslims should carry out their life. The 7 duties and obligations discussed are very important to the everyday lives of the people in the Muslim community. To the supporters of Islam, Muhammad is the most important prophet to have existed, although they do believe in other prophets such as Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. Islam bases the 5 pillars of Islam on the examples Muhammad set during his lifetime, determining the ethical behavior and reasoning of all Muslim people. Also check out our blog at williamrasmussen.blogspot.com.